Hello everybody, 'tis the Amazing Gaming Guy here, and welcome to a quick build of a Japanese temple. Perhaps this is actually more accurately a amalgamation of what I think a traditional Buddhist temple in Japan should look like in my own mind, because it's not going to be accurate and I'll probably have done things completely wrong. I'm absolutely no expert on Japanese culture and Japanese history, so please do forgive me if you know a lot more than I do and I've done it wrong, and please inform me if I've done it wrong and you know I've done it wrong, because I would very much like to learn. Thank you. Now, as you've just seen there, I started off by creating the foundations and the general outline of the structure of the temple, and I made sure to sort of overlap it over the edges a little bit of the mountain. You can see in this shot here on the right, it sort of overlaps over the edge, and it's got a little bit of a gradient at the top, and then it goes flat down vertically. So my general plan with this build is to create the large actual temple building, which you can see me building now, and to also have two other sections. So there'll be this large building, and there'll also be a sort of a walkway with some water and stuff around it, and some small little Zen garden areas with stones and things. Now, the texture pack I'm using, I can't quite remember the name of it. I literally just searched Japanese texture packs in Google, and I came up with this one. It's really nice, and I will put its name and a link to it in the description below. So yeah, I'm building this temple structure up in what I think is a sort of traditional Buddhist Japanese style. It's got those little bits at the edges that turn upwards, because I did do a little bit of research. I haven't gone in completely blind, and the most important thing by far on one of these structures is the roof. It is meant to be the centerpiece of a traditional Buddhist Japanese shrine or temple. I'm not quite sure what the significance of that is, but that is the way that they build it. That's the architectural style. I've also used a lot of different colors as well, because I wanted to get some red in there. So in this texture pack, all those red woods there are actually dark oak wood, I think, and then it's spruce for the actual wood color, and the paper walls are wool, I believe. Now, as with all of my builds, the most important thing is to put in detail to the build. So that means different textures, different patterns, and things going inwards, things coming out. And for all of these details to be implying something real in the build. So we've got the sort of fences, the red dark oak fences on the edges, which look like they're sort of supporting the edges of the roof. And as for the texture, we've got all of these red dark oak woods, and we've got the wool, which is acting as the shoji, which is the paper panels on the walls, or traditionally the actual paper itself is called washi. I'm just finishing the roof, and you can see that I've done sort of a border to the roof, as I have with the whole building, with cobblestone stairs and blocks and slabs, and the roof itself is that red dark oak wood again, and I've sort of turned up the corners and stuff at the end as well to just give it that sort of, you know, that style that you see in traditional Japanese architecture. Now, what I'm moving on to here is sort of a kairo. I think that's how you pronounce it. What that means is like a long roofed passage connecting two buildings, and okay, this technically isn't connecting two buildings, so that's probably not the right name for it, but I'm using the sort of general idea of it. I would have liked it to connect two buildings, actually. Maybe I should have done that, but I haven't. I've just used it as sort of a covered archway in the sort of outside area of the temple, and it leads to the sort of end section right at the end of that, on the other side of the shot, where it sort of leads over the edge of the mountain a little bit. It sort of overhangs, and I sort of intended that to be sort of an area where I might put a sort of a shrine or something, although I didn't actually do that in this build, but I might do in future. So I also wanted to have some water in this garden, and I'm just sort of putting that in now, as you can see, running along the sides of the pathway. I thought it would be nice and sort of peaceful to have a bit of running water in the garden, and you do see a lot of that in traditional Japanese Buddhist temples as well. Now, what I'm building here is kare-sansui, I think it's pronounced, which basically it means Zen garden, and I just wanted to add these sort of little outside stony garden areas just to give a little bit of variety to the build. So there's inside spots and there's outside spots, and I wanted to build this tree that you've just seen there as well. I would have loved to have made a nice sakura tree or a cherry blossom, but I didn't have the right colours in the texture pack. There weren't any pink leaves, so I had to make do with a green one, but I think it looks quite nice. And I just finished off with this little pathway leading you towards the temple itself. So that is just about all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching this quick build of a Japanese temple, and I hope you will like and comment and subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!